who may, even during normal times, not come to a physical event like that. So let's see if anyone had any success with that and any tips on how to maybe run those.
I can speak up. I'm Tom Romano. I work in Lexington, Massachusetts. And one thing I did in April and May and June, I ran a Family Feud event that had pretty good virtual enrollment. We did the whole event virtual. I think had like 8 to 10 different families, and it became popular enough where I did an event for the town staff, including like the town manager and other people like that. So it was a good way to get the morale up of the staff, and everyone in the community who did it enjoyed it as well. So I have a whole bunch of info about it, and if anyone's interested, I'll put my email in the chat, and I can send you over what I got.
Yeah, if you could, please, we'd love to hear more about that, if you used a platform to make that happen, or if you ran it all in-house. And if you have a link to your website, that would be awesome too.
Yeah, no, I have all this stuff just on my personal computer. So anyone who emails me, I can send you. I'll wait to see if I get a bunch of people emailing, and then I'll send it out in one blast. But yeah, everything, I did it just through Zoom.
Great. Yeah, and just as a reminder, everyone, we do record these roundtables and we send the chat box after the fact. So if you don't get a chance to write Thomas's email address down now, we will send it with the follow-up email, just as an FYI. That sounds great. Some other programs that are being mentioned in the chat box, Jennifer, and I almost called you Jean now that Dan said it. Jennifer said that they have a trail of cheer throughout the park, a virtual book and bedtime with Mrs. Claus, where she reads a story and they provide the link, and they have a North Pole hotline. Lake Naomi, they're doing FaceTime with Santa this weekend. Let's see, Jennifer also mentioned that they have family trivia night on Facebook, and it's been huge. Paula, they did a drive-by holiday event with limited tickets, and they also did a Facebook Live video of the event with 3,400 views. So you guys are doing amazing. So feel free to speak up and tell us some other programs that you've done. I think, again, Val said they're doing phone calls with the North Pole. So what else? And what do you have coming up for the spring? Because I think we all know that this is not going to change anytime soon.
Hi, I'm Jair from Bristol Township Parks and Rec in Pennsylvania. So what we have done for the remainder months, well, since quarantine has started, we have basically did what we call crafts on the go. So we get arts and craft supplies delivered to us, and we pack them. Our Parks and Rec staff, we just pack them. It's just, I'm the program coordinator, and so me and the Parks and Rec director, we pack them up together, and then we have a limited amount of people who apply online to receive them, and they are free. And so we make a video of instruction, and we show them how to do it, and then we deliver them to their homes with the craft in there, probably like a postcard or something, and then like a little snack for them. So we deliver it to their home, and then we have them post pictures and videos and stuff like that of them doing it to get the involvement up. And we started out, I believe, in March, the first time we did it, with like 50 people. And then the next couple of times we did it, we are up on averages of like 250 people. And we deliver them ourselves, and we do it in a probably like 2-day span of deliveries. So it's been a great turnout for our community.
One question, are those crafts geared mainly towards kids or seniors or anyone?
So we are mainly doing them towards the kids to keep the kids still interested, and also let them know that we're still here for them. Our seniors, we do kind of like group exercise for them online. So we have like small exercises that we post that they can do, and our senior center helps with that a lot. So they mainly post a lot of stuff for the seniors.
Great, thank you.
And then, yeah, and then we also used to do like field trip Fridays. So we'll post like a virtual field trip of a place that a lot of people have not been, and it'll give like a grand tour. Like we did the Titanic one time, or like Walt Disney World, and just a bunch of different places. So that way the kids can kind of just stay connected.
Great.
Jennifer has a new brochure out that she wants to share.
Oh, and if you check in the chat box, and again, we will send this out. Jennifer, not Jean, I will not call you Jean, mentioned that their new brochure is on their website, and it covers January through March, and their website is in the chat box. And a few other things, Lynn from Upper Macungie, they're going to do a trunk or treat style egg hunt this spring. Let's see, and call it the bunny hop. So they'll be reaching out to businesses and organizations. Sorry, it just popped out of the way for me. To decorate cars or give out and hide eggs in their decorations. They'll have 2 time slots, and that'll spread out, obviously, the people. And Terry said that they had a Santa stop and donation drop. So people could come and drive by to see fire trucks, police, Santa and Mrs. Claus. There were lights and decorations. And then, of course, people could drop off letters to Santa and donations for the police collection drive. There were giveaways from Parks and Recreation, their Arts Council, Historical Commission, and some other community organizations. So that's a great idea. Trying to read through all of these. Yep, Shell. Oh, go ahead.
Shelley Clancy has a Santa mailbox outside the office, decorating a tree with mittens, hats, and gloves for children to hang and donate. They also had a diaper drive where they put a large Tupperware bin out and it has filled with more. Large amount of Santa letters already, and he responds by snail mail. I know our local Rotary Club is also doing the Santa mailbox, and it's posted outside, it's erected outside of one of our local restaurants. And so we're collecting letters, and we have like 5 different form letters that we answer kids with and then write in some personal stuff. So it's a real nice activity. It's been a tradition in State College for a long time.
All right. What other questions do you have for the group here? You know, the virtual programs we've talked about are fantastic. If anyone else has anything to share, what are your plans for next spring?
Nikki, we've had a lot more of an in-person presence than I think some other, particularly in our surrounding townships. We tend to serve just a lot more people in person right now, and that's largely due to our community center and membership base. But we do a lot of hybrid programming. So we try to meet families where they are. We have some that are very comfortable coming in, and we have some that aren't. So, you know, for example, our playroom area, we do craft kits, monthly craft kits. So parents can pick those up. We've even considered curbside pickup for a craft kit. So one of the ones, it unfortunately didn't come to fruition in time, but was like an elf mobile, and you know, they could pick up an elf box with craft kits and things like that, and it mainly is good for the entire family. So those are some things we've done. So we've tried to meet those folks that aren't comfortable coming in virtually. But in the spring, we look for, as we get nicer weather, to be able to move. A lot of our programming was very successful outside. So we actually plan on keeping a lot of our outdoor programming that highlighted our park and resources within our park. That's a huge advantage that I think we're going to continue to take that into account more than we did in the past.
Great.
Paula wants to talk about her outsource.
I will.
So here's Karen from Muhlenberg Township, right outside of Reading, Pennsylvania. So I was a little slow on the elf on the shelf kind of idea, Parker in the park. So I'm gearing myself towards Cupid in the park and Leprechaun in the park. So doing the same kind of clues that lead them out to the park to try to find the Cupid or the Leprechaun. So hopefully it won't be too bad of a winter that we can do that, but that's what I'm kind of gearing myself for in the early, or should I say late winter
I think that sounds like a great idea.
Paula, do you want to talk a little bit about outschool.com?
Sure. They popped up on my Facebook. And so I looked into it, and they have like teachers and instructors that do like themed classes and programs. And me being a smaller department, I'm not able to kind of run my a lot of the virtual things myself, especially in the evening. So I found them to be a great like outsource. There is a cost like per kid, but I've been able to find sponsors that completely covers the cost, so it's free to participants. And I have another, the first one coming up is an elf dance party, and the teacher is going to do a story, and then at the end just like kind of dance with the kids. I think it's half an hour, but it's great if you don't have like the time or resources to kind of do this stuff in the evening or things like that. So great resource.
Can you share that information with us? Because I definitely would love that. I'm a department of one, so that's exactly what I deal with. Is my committee, you know, they're parents, so they have their own kids and stuff, and it's hard to do online programs when you're trying to pull teeth to get your committee members to do stuff, and you know, that's great. I love that.
A link in the chat box. Actually, a friend of mine was like hit attending on Facebook, like the event. So I looked into it and I just reached out to them, and they have a wide variety. They have a Santa that dresses up and can read to the kids. So they have like actors and teachers that are actually like kind of professionals in doing these like virtual demonstrations.
That's awesome. What's the site called? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Outschool.com.
What was it?
Outschool.
Outschool.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you.
And it was my saving grace, because I was trying to find something for the holidays, but I just didn't have, I'm not going to dress up as an elf.
We have a question in the chat box. Can anyone recommend any virtual tours for seniors? Anyone can think, and then while you're thinking about that, other questions you have for the group?
So for the seniors, I'm just thinking out loud here. So I actually I'm a trained historian, and I actually work as a tour guide at a local historic site. And I know that a lot of historic sites and museums are struggling right now. So maybe reaching out to a museum and see if they can do like a virtual tour or something like that. I know for a fact that, you know, as a small museum person, you know, we're always looking for new ways to bring people out. Seniors are actually the biggest clientele we have at our museum. So we do a lot of like retirement homes and senior homes. They'll come and do tours. But right now we don't want to bring anybody out. So we've actually started doing virtual tours at my site. So I would reach out to maybe some local museums or historic sites and see if they'd be willing to maybe work with them. They're struggling as well right now, and there's really not a lot of resources out there for them. So they're just looking to get creative.
Wonderful. And one thing we had at our Therapeutic Recreation Institute 2 years ago, I think it was, one of our presenters, she showed us how they do virtual reality with some of their population. And that was incredible, because it kind of showed how you can tour anywhere around the world using virtual reality. And she did have units that were not that expensive. Now, obviously, it's a little difficult, but if there's a way to engage them with that virtual kind of platform that way, that might be an option. I will report too that Robert in the chat box said they've been doing a Senior Scoop weekly that includes virtual tours. And then I will say, I was going to ask him to share the link to that, but he did share a link to their website with that information. So I think you'll be able to find some more details there for their senior emails. So hopefully that'll help out as well.
Nikki, I also just launched a poll asking people their department sizes.
Oh, thank you.
Just so that we can get a little update on that.
And again, I know a lot of you told us where you're from, but if you haven't yet, please share that in the chat box. I think it's pretty exciting that we have some people who are not just in Pennsylvania, and getting, you know, what they're doing is really interesting as well. What are some challenges that you've had as far as, you know, making these decisions to run your programs? Have you had problems? I know, you know, Alicia, the fact that you can run programs for free in your community is excellent, but has anyone had any programs, you know, with your elected officials or with your supervisors of being able to run in-person programs or run virtual, or just in general continue getting through COVID? Is that a no? Does that, 'cause I would love for no one to have any issues. Yeah, right.
We were actually asked by our borough council to continue to do events virtually. We usually stop at Halloween. Halloween's our last event, and we don't do anything until Easter.
Okay.
So from the end of October to usually April, we're quiet. We have no public anything. So this year, you know, they wanted to keep up the, you know, being in the zeitgeist, you know, just kind of being out there, always kind of posting, keeping up stuff. So we're decorating one of our parks with, you know, a candy cane land is what we're going to decorate it with, and people can go walk through. And then maybe in January we'll get some like snowflakes and some penguins, and we'll put those out, and just some cute stuff so that when people are out and about. But our borough council has specifically asked us, like, please keep this up. This is great. You know, we're getting a lot of really good feedback. So now we're, you know, again, I'm a department of 1. I have a committee of 9, but they're all parents and they work as well. So trying to figure out what kind of programs we can do that are low maintenance. You know, it's not taking us out of what we're doing, but we're still, you know, being able to offer what our town needs. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
we're in a weird place. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's fantastic. I don't know if anyone from our local Park and Rec department is on the call today. I didn't really see anyone, but one of the things they're doing, I saw on their Facebook page, is they're having within their region a Christmas like a house, I'll say holiday light contest. So you can enter for $5 to be in the competition. And then I think they're having judges go around the different communities and doing a judging of the Christmas lights. I think they have categories. And then I think there's a gift card that you can win for either maybe the funniest house or the prettiest house. And I thought that was a pretty neat way to do it, because it still allows people to be engaged with their local Park and Rec department. People are already probably decorating their houses for the holiday, and this just gives them a little incentive to do maybe a little bit more than they normally would. So I know that's one thing that they are doing here locally. Let's see. Just going through the chat box. What?
So,
Go ahead.
polling results is there's 6 of you who are Department of 1, and the main one is 52%, or 15 of you are 2 to 5. So there's a lot of small departments. 5 to 10 is 24%, and larger than 10, 7%.
Wow.
There you go.
All right. Oh, so Shell, so you did 3 categories for free Halloween house decorating contest. Fantastic. And it was free to entrance. Did you give a prize for that?
Yes. So we actually did 3 prizes worth $100. And, you know, we actually didn't ask any residents because it was so, our community is hit pretty hard, just like everyone else. So we figured, since we're not doing any events in person, that we could accommodate that much. And there weren't too many entrants, but I know the residents loved it when it got on social media, and we just put a map out there for people to visit these houses, and it was a hit.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think those are fantastic ideas.
What's the spring look like?
Yeah.
Another question we like to ask is, you know, what is your spring program set looking like, or what are your what are you planning, if anything, or what you're not planning? And how might you accommodate that?
That's what our January Parks and Rec meeting is going to be about, is pretty much sitting down and looking at the events that we do and figuring out how, if any way, we can make them virtual. Like the first event we do is our Easter egg hunt. You know, we're trying to figure out what would be the best way to figure out how to turn some of these events that are, you know, bring out like 500-600 people and turn it into a virtual event. So, you know, just, I'm always looking at other parks and recs, seeing what they're doing, you know, out of state, all over the place. I was born and raised in Ohio, so I check my hometown stuff, and it's just, it's hard right now. You know, I'm not really sure how to even move forward with our stuff next year. So maybe by January, we'll have a little bit better idea, but, you know, I think we're just going to kind of wing it. We still have the same budget and everything. So, you know, maybe we can do more virtual. So I don't know. Pretty much, I don't know.
I'm wondering, Marilee, I don't know if you can speak up, but I would love to hear more about your outdoor drive-in bingo.
Hello.
Hello, I would love to hear about that.
Well, yeah, that transistor is probably the best $80 or $90, whatever it was that we ever spent. Here at Oak Park, our community center, by the way, has been closed since March. So we have been closed to the public since March, and are closed through January 4th presently, not knowing when it's going to open, if it's going to open in January, February, March. So we got the transistor, and actually a resident who is far more technologically savvy than I am found an empty radio station. Once you plug that into your transistor, we just have a little headset that I feel like I'm answering phones for AT&T. And the folks, when they drive into the parking lot, they just tune their radio to that station. We jokingly call it 87.9 The Wreck. And we play bingo. So I have the sheets, they have the daubers. We give them all clipboards with the sheets. We play for about an hour, which is great enough for outside right now because it's cold. They're in their cars and I'm not. But it's fun, and they actually want to continue this into January and February. So they're hardy souls here in Michigan.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I think you need like to stand by a big bonfire though, if you want.
I'm definitely looking into a heater for my fingers anyway.
Yeah, I bet. I can imagine. I think that sounds great. Some other feedback in the chat box. Jennifer, same kind of plan. You're going to look at January for planning out your spring. Mike, you are looking to plan a normal spring and adapt on the fly. I think that's what most people will do. Derek reported that they haven't ramped up leagues yet, but they do have skills and drills for athletics and active play program that has been successful. Other than that, they're trying various art and drama programs as well as game show and game nights, and looking for new things to try as long as people are safe. Oh, Paula, you want Marilee, if you don't mind sharing the transistor with the group of what the equipment is that you have for bingo, I think that would be helpful if you don't mind sharing that. You can either share it in the chat box, or if you don't have it now, we can put our email addresses and you can send it to me and I can share it with the group.
That would be great. If you said, I'll send it to you because I am working from home today and the equipment is at work.
Not a problem. My email address is in the chat box right now. Yeah, it looks like most people are going forward with your traditional spring and summer plans, and they'll adjust on the fly. And I think that's the awesome thing about Park and Rec professionals and programmers in general, is that's what we do. We adapt on the fly. I can tell you from PRPS's standpoint, on Thursday, we, as most of you have probably seen, decided that our conference in March will be virtual. So after we finished the website and the registration guide, we decided to go virtual. So now we're redoing all that. So look for information soon. That's my plug for the day. So what other questions or what other help do you need right now when moving forward, either through, you know, December, January, or even into late next year? What tips are you looking for from these other amazing professionals? Oh, Derek, Derek is asking, when is everyone planning to post their summer programs? I know some people have said they've already had their guides out, but are other people delaying? And with that question, are you still doing a paper registration guide?
Lynn before him also has some good comments.
Oh, let's see. I missed Lynn's comment. She mentioned they're looking to do art in the park, which will be a low-key event with vendors spaced out appropriately. They ran 2 successful drive-in movies with more than 180 cars, so they'll do additional of those events. And they ran a program called Healthy Kids Running. That's a fantastic program, and it held 137 kids. And if you Google that, you can get that started in your own communities. We started that here in the Center Region and State College about 6 years ago. That's a fantastic program. And she also said they're doing some other small programs and normal spring programs with adjusted social distancing. So when are you posting your summer programs, and are you printing a paper registration guide or program guide? Can you do a thumbs up if you're doing a paper guide? And you can do the thumbs up if you go down to the bottom. There's a reactions button. Gina, thank you. There's a thumbs up. Robert is reporting that they are announcing their camps later this week, but they'll have to see if they'll actually happen due to the pandemic.
Jennifer still has brochures.
Yep.
Mike has brochures.
Yep.
Oak Park still has a city magazine that they're putting out, but what I'm finding is that sometimes it's not reaching the information to the residents. Well, that happens everywhere, not just here, in a timely manner. So what we're doing is we're going back to putting out a paper brochure, for lack of better words, in our entranceway that will be covered for, again, obviously you figured out, I work with seniors at our community center. So they will drive out and pick that up. I find that at least in our population here, most of our seniors, it's either 50-50. 50 love the Facebook and the technological side, and the other is strictly they want the paper. So we're trying to do both for them. The paper one will be updated every month so that they are kept abreast of things that are changing, obviously quite rapidly here in Michigan from one week to the next.
Yeah, I feel like that's how it is here in Pennsylvania. Some great feedback in the, I'm not going to read them all because we're getting a ton, but Derek, I know, and others, if you check, there are a lot of feedback about when people are posting their information. A lot of people are holding off on their traditional paper guides. I know a lot of people have been doing direct electronic mailings and social media. But again, we will include all of this in our chat follow-up. But I think you're going to get sick of Dan and I just reading the chat box. But a lot of amazing feedback here. And again, I think a lot of people are going digitally, and I think that makes sense. I'm trying to see if there's any questions in there. No.
Just so you know, Nikki, if you look at Lori Stasiak's response, she's actually our director in Oak Park, and she put the information for the transistor right there in the chat box.
Oh, fantastic. For those of you who are looking, it is there. Okay. Has anyone had their funding cut due to COVID? Or have you been able to increase it to make sure you can get the proper safety equipment for programming related to COVID. I know. All right, so I'm gonna ask, what is the funniest thing that happened to you on a virtual program this year? Has anyone been Zoom bombed? We have. It was not fun. So what's the funniest thing that happened to you? I mean, we see cats and dogs walk across. We've had the F word on on a round table. So what's happened to you? And how did you handle it? You all need to speak up because you don't want to hear my voice anymore. I know it.
On one of our roundtables, the woman was in her bedroom participating, and in the background was her little son bouncing up and down on the bed. And he would do it, and he would run in on in his underwear, of course. And he was like a little 6-year-old kid, and he'd jump up and down in front of her, behind her, and she didn't know what was going on. We had to like chat her and let her know what was going on. So that was kind of funny.
No one else? Nothing exciting happened?
I'm sure it will once I start. I'll be doing a Monday mornings with Mara Lee, and I'm about as untechnologically savvy as they come. So I'll keep you posted at the next one. Hopefully we do this again, and maybe I'll show you a video.
We will do this again, and trust me, it will happen.
Oh, I know.
It's always funny when you send a private chat or email and you're like, hey, just so you know, this is what we are seeing. And they're like, oh my goodness. And you see the camera shut off really quick. But it happens to all of us, right? I'll tell my story. When we were working from home, I have paintings of alpacas. And so many people commented on my paintings at the time. And I was like, wow, it's always a scary alpaca in the background. But now I just have a scary Dan in the background. So what other questions do you have for the group? I mean, we have about 15 minutes left, but if there's no other discussion topics or questions, we also don't want to waste your time because we know you're busy. And with that, are there topics that you are looking for that PRPS can offer you via webinar, or other roundtables of questions that you're looking for?
I personally really love these roundtables. I think it's great to be able to talk with other people. I'd really like to maybe do like a brainstorming thing with some people that are looking to do some spring events. Like, I'd love to be like, these are some ideas I have. What ideas do you guys have? Like, maybe we can build on each other, and, we can do the same thing and see how it goes, or something like that. I have a pretty tight connection with the Parks and Rec around where I am. But I don't really know too many people outside, but, I'm always stealing ideas from the people like next to me here. So, I'd really like to just be able to do maybe like a brainstorming session for some new ideas.
We will make it happen.
Nikki, on my end, a shameless plug, I suppose. But, I'm currently obtaining my doctoral degree, and my area of research is video conferencing in local government. So like Google Meet, these types of platforms, and how they're being used, particularly with the perspective of public recreation. But some of my research is a little more broad to just public in general. So if there's anything anybody's interested in that, or anything I could pass along in terms of my research, I'd be happy to share it.
That would be great, Tyler. And I know we have a connection with the State Association of Boroughs and Townships. So if that helps at all, let us know. We'll do the brainstorming session for sure. We can do one on camps, absolutely. And just so you know, Val, we will have an aquatic one coming up. I'm waiting to talk to Todd and Kristen about getting that scheduled. We do have a community center one coming up on Thursday. And next week we have, I'm trying to remember, Oh, health and wellness? No. Okay, maybe it's just these two. My brain is crazy since we decided to go virtual for the conference. That's all I can think of. So bear with me. But we can get those other ones scheduled for sure. So, you know, if you think it's best before the holidays or if you want us to wait till January, put it in the chat box now. We try to get it where most people can attend. We can do more than one. Of course, if you registered for this roundtable, we have your email address, so we'll make sure you're included on the future roundtable information, because usually we promote to the Pennsylvania individuals, but we know we have some people from outside of Pennsylvania, which is awesome. We are so thankful that you popped on today. January, yep, so looking like January so far. What else? Any last minute questions? Any comments? Senior programming, excellent. I think that's a great one. And I love the drive and bingo. I used to manage a senior center, so bingo has a place in my heart.
We're doing, this is Mary Lee from Oak Park again. We're doing something kind of on a fly on December 21st. We're using one of our buses. We're going to kind of decorate it in Christmas vacation style, maybe not as grand. But we have a number of seniors that are homebound and that really don't have any family in the area. So we are calling it a holiday hug. And it's comprised of all religions. And Mrs. Claus, who looks like something out of White Christmas, will be getting off our lighted bus, and we'll take them a package that will have like a holiday mug, hot chocolate, holiday card. There's some other goodies in there, like I ordered a stuffed polar bear. Actually got one of our markets to donate poinsettias. Just something so that they know they're being thought of. And the powers that be for our transportation system just absolutely loved this idea. It was so on board with it. So we're doing that December 21st. And then I'll also put out there, if anybody can put in the chat box, I'm putting together like a comfort package that will be kind of made to last for a month. And this is going to be free as well, where I'm going to encourage seniors to journal. They're going to be getting a journaling book. They're going to be getting some jigsaw puzzles, some recipes, something just to kind of, just because you're alone doesn't mean you have to be lonely. So we're trying to get them to get a little engaged, because as the snow falls here, well, number one, our center isn't open anyway, but they don't tend to get out as much. And they're not real Zoom friendly. So if anybody has any ideas that I could include in this little comfort package for seniors, bring it on. I need to get it ordered so I can get it packaged up before January 28th.
Fantastic. Sorry, we have an office dog who just made a grump noise and it made me laugh. She just ran into the desk. Anything else? You guys have been wonderful. Please keep an eye out for the brainstorming roundtable, the community center roundtable, the aquatics roundtable. We'll get all those scheduled. And of course, PRPS will have other webinars coming up. Again, I'll do another shameless plug. Keep an eye out for the virtual 2021 PRPS Conference and Expo. That information will come out soonish. We hope to have registration open by January 4th. It's going to be an amazing event. And we hope to see you all there. And if there's nothing else, thank you and have the greatest holidays you could have.
See y'all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.